So, Guruji, what is Sanatana Shastra Vidya?
So, look at India now. India is an ancient civilization. And if humanity, or the science, began in Africa, but high civilization evolved and developed in India. So, what from the Harappa period, right through the Vedic period, and so on, we have been advanced in mathematics, advanced in music, advanced in spirituality, yoga, etc., so on. So it's not surprising that we also have very advanced martial traditions and so on. So for instance, with the Veds, you have the Purva Veds that deals with the culture. You have Stavani Veda that deals with architecture, you have then earthcore, you have Ayurveda that is medicine. So in the same way, we have Dhanu Veda that dealt with weapons, Shastra Vidya and so on. But unfortunately, Dhanu Veda, and later on the Agni Purana, even the period when Agni Purana was written, the Dhanu Veda had already basically been eclipsed, it's vanished, we lost. But the earliest texts are traced back to Shiva. Same with the Vidyas, like in most Indian arts, when it comes to dancing, music, art, it's all traced back to Shiva, Adi Shiva. Now, whether Shiva was, I should say in Punjabi, Prabhashali, a genius, or whether he was just an archetypal shaman of ancient India, we can't really say. Okay, but you can trace back to the ancient Rishi Muni, the Munivar and so on, the ancient sages of India. So Shastra is spoken as being Sanatana. Now, the word Sanatana means timeless. Christian, the word is just Shastra, means the science of weapons. It is it's a science, but with the coming of British Raj, as a lot of culture in India was eclipsed, and there came a division between what is Sanatan and then what is for the revisionist new stuff. So at that time they added the word Sanatan to Shastra to make it emphasize clearly that this is not of this period, but this is a timeless art. So Sanatana Shastra is historically traced back to Adi Deva Shiva, who is spoken as the Adi Akharagadev, the primordial Akharagadev. So Shiva is traced back to the Munivar who are known as Pashupat. Shiv Shiv Uchita Rachita Pashupat, Shiv Ke Ranga Rachita. This is Guru Gobind Singh's quote from Sablo, a text which is not so well known among Sikhs now, but it's one of the two texts that Guru Gobind Singh wrote, the Dasam Granth and the Sablo Granth. Acknowledged amongst the Nahangs, but not the mainstream Sikhs. The Pashupat, later on passed in the Vidya, they transmuted to what called the Kapaliks. Now, closest you can get to Kapaliks now, but not actually direct descendants of them, are like the Gauri Babas. They're known as the Kapaliks, they're all Punjabi and Kapartar Baba, they carry skulls, these are that. So the Kapaliks, and then from the Kapaliks, the Vidya comes into, the Kapaliks in time transmuted to the Nathas around the 10th century. Also, there's another different diverging lineage, the Munivar, the H. Rishi Munis, who were known as Pashupat, the masters of the beast and so on. So if you look at the iconography in Harappa, you see them as depicted as a yogi like posture, sitting in yoga with horns and so on. And if you look at the horn symbol, and you can realize in many cultures in the past, when they hunted, they would dress up the animals and so on, wear horns and so on, so they can get close to the animals and so on, and they can hunt them. In the same way, like those horn symbols later on ends up in called even Jordan sees Adnar Ishra symbols, the soul symbol, and of course the Khanda symbol now as well. Like if you were to look at the Adnar Ishra symbol from the Jordan state, then look at the Sikh, what they call now the Khanda, which has been adopted in the early 20s, it's exactly the same. You know, just take the idol out of the way and it's the same. So there's a continuity of iconography. So from the Pashupatis, the Munivar eventually was divided into Shivites and Vaishnavas. The devotees of Vishnu, Shiva and so on. Then the art comes to a place called Takshila, which is known as Dakshinakasila. So Taksha, according to oral tradition, and according to the man, is the son of Bharat, the nephew of Sri Ramchandra. And he establishes Takshila, the home of Taksh. And Takshila is originally a kingdom of the Nagas. So Nagas are the oldest Kshatriya dynasty in India. And then whereas Nagas are pre-Aryan, Aryan, the Suryavanshi and Chandravanshi will later come with the Aryans and so on. So the Takshila, the art from its primal state, evolves into what we have now called the Yuddhans. The word Yuddha means combat, Yuddha means forms of combat, basically battle forms. The Yuddhans of the art Varha, Shesh, Guru, Nandi, Narsingh, Hanuman with them, Bagdev with them, Ashwini Dev with them, Chandika with them, and so on. Now all this knowledge vanished with the coming of British Raj. Once the British came in Punjab, the first thing they did was disarm the population. So the writings like General Goff talks about how the British went from Sikh village to village. And in every village they basically told the Sarpanch, the leader, hand in all your weapons. Confiscate all the weapons. Hitherto, if there's any weapons found here, it's you we're going to put in prison and it's your family going to have evict from their lands. So systematically they confiscated weapons. In the first year, the records state, over 120,000 weapons were confiscated by the British. And over 1,000 people were put in prison for concealing weapons and so on. The British then declared any renegade in the Punjab, after the First Time Civil War, as not as a renegade, but as a bandit. And they put over 2,500 horsemen and over 5,000 police specifically to hunt these bandits down. So people like Lieutenant Hodgson and so on, they were actually going out in posses and hunting the Khalsa down, laying in ambush, shooting them, killing them wherever they can. Anybody dressed in this Bana, so if you look at this dress now, the Nahang dress I'm wearing, it's not exactly like the Nahangs today. This is called Jangi Bana, the war Bana. And anybody seen dressed like this was to be automatically shot dead. These kind of affairs, where they're shooting people dead, wiping them out, last for about 30 years after the Anglo-Sikh War. After the first Anglo-Sikh War, which ends about 1846, we're talking about 46, 56, 60, 76, for about 30 years, this is happening. Many Nahangs had to escape to South India, to what Nanded is. And even there, they were hunted. Okay, there's a large fikr forest, acacia tree forest around Nanded tradition is a means of defending it. That was chopped down in pursuit of hunting Nahangs. The Nizam of Hyderabad at that time, his vizier was Chandula, a Khatri from Punjab. He was sympathized with the Sikhs. And he saved the Sikhs at that time. What he did was, he persuaded the Nahangs in Yusuf to give the nishans to them, so he can show to the British, look, we confiscated their bystanders, and the Nahangs are actually dead. There's none of them existing anymore. He lied to the British. And but 12 years later, they will return to the Punjab, so that's 1846, 1848, 1858, they will return back. And eventually there will be a deal cut with the kings of Patiala, who will collaboration. You can realize, in the Anglo-Sikh Wars, there's one kingdom of Lahore, the Sikh kingdom, fighting, and this Lahore kingdom was composed of not just Sikh soldiers, but Hindu soldiers, Muslim soldiers, the cosmopolitan Europeans in the armies, and they're fighting the British, who are allied with Patiala, Nabha, Jeans, Gurur, Kaithol. All these are Sikh kingdoms, so it's not a clear-cut Sikh versus British, etc., so on. Like in reality, everything is mismatched. So you have about 9 kingdoms of Sikhs with the British against this one kingdom of Lahore, which is the largest kingdom there was. And the Nahangs, the Burdal, based on the Kaltak, were with the Maharaja Singh. So British Raj comes, these martial traditions now are completely banned. Shatras are confiscated, and now Shatra Vidya indirectly gets banned as well. You can't just, if you confiscate weapons, you can't keep weapons. The Nahangs, like I said, 30 years getting hunted, and some of the old Nahangs who survived, they managed to keep their weapons. What they did was, they would take these handles like these, and they put them onto wooden swords. When the British came to inspect, they would put the wooden sword in the scabbard. When the British came, they looked at it, it was a wooden sword. When the British went away, they put the real swords back in. They would make muskets, guns at that time of wood as well, to look like real sword replica guns. Again, when the British came, they will present them, and when the British go away, they pull out the real guns. So they kept it like this. Now, for the Vidya, there's one guy left, one individual. His name was Baba Sawan Singh Bhangu. He was a Brahmin from Kashmir. His family came to modern-day Haryana, and there they married local Jats, so their caste dropped. And the Sawan Singh Bhangus, they were Sikhs from Kashmir. And Sawan Singh Bhangu's father had joined the Nahangs, they were Nahangs. Sawan Singh Bhangu survived the Anglo-Sikh Wars. He was badly burnt, and to suppress the pain, he began to take a lot of cannabis, and thus he came to be known as Sawan Singh Pangad. And Sawan Singh Bhangu is the one we credit with as saving Shatrughat. You got to realize, the Marathas were conquered, so Shatrughat one time was from northern India, all the way through to Benares, So the Rajputs, the foremost warriors of India, before there were Kshatriyas, then there was the Rajputs, and from the Rajputs, then the Marathas, there were Jats, there were Sikhs, and so on, and there's Oghuz in the east and so on. But the Vidya, the domain of the Vidya was Kshatriya, is where Sanskrit culture was. Okay? So, as a consequence, the Marathas came conquered around, I think, if my memory serves me around, if someone's here, they can correct me, around 1818, the Peshwa surrendered. Is that true? Okay, I don't know what month is June or something. June 18 or something. And then around the same time, around the Rajputs around here as well, the Rajputs, or Rajputana, made an alliance with the British between 1817 and 1819, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but that's around that time, that they basically became protectors of the British state. And the British encouraged these Rajputs to just live in Ash, must be like this, you know, have a lot of opium, keep your harems, keep happy and all this. Anybody in the Rajputs who stood out against the British, they were moved quick, and so on. And everywhere, and the British are looking for any kingdom that lapses to take it over, like the kingdom of Rani Jhansi and so on. And in Punjab as well, those who, the Sikhs lost on the battlefield, not because they were inferior, the Sikh guns were superior, the Sikh fighting techniques in hand-to-hand combat was obviously superior, but they also were trained by French and European soldiers, so the Sikh soldiers were on comparable level to the British. And the Sikhs actually won on the battlefield. Except the British are from very early on in England, they are very cunning in terms of knowing how to exploit the differences in different races. And just like the Scots and the Irish, Sikh armies, like Ranjinda wanted revenge for a brother, but people like Teja Singh, Lal Singh, Gulab Singh was promised Kashmir, simple as that. You take Kashmir and then that's it. So the Khalsa lost because he got betrayed. At a crucial moment in the battlefield, in the Battle of Firuzshah, a Sikh new army in the Teja Singh came. They could have easily wiped out the British. No. They delayed it. Another army could have wiped out Ludhiana. No. They still delayed it. Then at the last battle, Firuzshah, when instead of gunpowder, they sent sack loads of, they had a bit of gunpowder and they had, of course, mustard seed below. So when you get stabbed in the back, then there's not much hope for you. And this will happen to the Khalsa. So what happened now is the Marathas, they get suppressed, British, and the British do the same thing there. Disarm them, get rid of all their castles, get rid of their gunpowders, get rid of their martial skills. And the Marathas have the same comparable skills as Sikhs, as the Rajputs and so on. The Jats, the Rajputs, they got conquered very easily. Sikhs were the last people to go down because of the furthest away from the British, based in Bengal. But also this one individual, Sahib Singh Bangru, after 30 years, even when the rest of the Hangs had made a compromise with the British, this Baba did not surrender. He formed a gang of bandits and he basically he attacked the British. His gang got wiped out, he still survived. He then hid out in what we know in Nandipur now as Mithasa, which is basically, it's the jungle area now. I don't know now they might have developed it now. When the past is pure, thick jungle, there's no way you can catch anybody there. He stayed there, and then towards the end of his life, he passed the Vidya on to one individual called Baba Mangal Singh. Now Mangal Singh was the brother of Baba Gurmukh Singh and Sadhu Singh, who were the Jehadars of Shri Dandebad, and so on, Baba Kala. And Gurmukh Singh in particular was a Sanskrit master. He actually went to Banaras, studied Sanskrit, and defeated the Pandits there, so he was highly knowledgeable. He also practiced Hatha Yoga as well. And Guru and Sadhu Singh was well educated, even Baba Mangal Singh. See, but in that time, you could not openly speak of Kshatriya. And there's a tale that one time Sahib Singh Bangru, who was very old now, in his 80s, was in Lahore. So there's a time, 30 years, they've been hunting him, they couldn't catch him. At the end, he just forgotten by the British. He's in Lahore, some exciting young man comes, grabs him by the arms, and looks, this is the Gatka. And he looks at Gatka. Now Gatka is an exhibition art. Gatka is Khatka, Khatka is Khut. It comes from Turkmenistan, where the Turks came from. Gatka comes from there. You know the terminology, it's all Persian. As a consequence, when Baba Sahib Singh saw this, that exhibition going on, he said these words. I don't know if you can understand this. He said, Chatka hai Gatka, Gatka hai Chatka. Ek choke se jo jaan hadpe, so Chatka Gatka jaaniye. Agar Gatka, so kacha fikka pitthal kamla maani. He dismissed it. Because what we have now is, the Gatka we have is exhibition. Okay, they kille kutne ka patte vaakya dikhawte, surbir kartal kart hai. So if you go to Surya Prakash, even as early as 1843 when Surya Prakash written the text by Kavi Kastur Singh, Nani Prakash, it talks about the distinction between an exhibition art and a combat art. So what we have now, I want to make the point here, the Sikhs, now this one individual kept the spark alive. Just like in Banaras, when Aurangzeb went out, he attacked Banaras, tried to restore Vishwanath Mandir and so on, tried to wipe out the Ghats. One family, what's called Jindals there, kept that ancient flame alive. So in Banaras, it's believed that the flame that fell there is from the times of the Jyotirlingam falling on this earth. And that one family kept that Jangada alive. In the same way, Sahib Singh Bhangu kept that one spark of Shatrughat alive. One time this spark raged throughout northern India and so on. In terms of Harsha Vardhan, he was even there going towards south. Even south Kalari now. I don't want to offend Kalari people here, but let me talk like this. Kalari is traced back to Parshuramji. And it's traced back to what's called Parshuramji and Agastya Muniji. It is a South Indian art, there's no question about it. Now it's South Indian, it's there, it's South. But think about it, where did Agastya Muni come from? According to our mythological records. He came from the feet of Shiva from north. Kailash and so on. I'm not saying it's Chinese. I'm saying Tibet in that time was part of India as well. Okay? That's why you have Garuda Valley there and so on. And then we have what's called Parsuram. Parsuram lived his life through what we call now the Devbhumi, the mountains and so on. And then they traveled down southward. So if your gurus took the Vidya down south, then obviously the Vidya is traced back there. Same as the Veds in the south. The Veds come from Punjab side. Rishi Panini, who wrote the Grammars of Sanskrit, he came from Punjab. Vyas Rishi, who wrote the Veds and so on, he also, with the real Vyasis in Punjab side as well. And eventually, so early on, Vedic culture was centered in what we know as Punjab. Then in time, we shifted to what we now know as Benares. Okay? And the political center also shifted to what we know, and hard to believe now if you go to Patna now, but Pataliputra was the center of Indian political life for a long time. All the most powerful kingdoms, Chandragupta Mauryas, the later Guptas, they all came from modern Patna, where the rooms in the form. So the Vidya is one individual who kept it alive, and that's the same Vidya I teach now. It's very rare now. Modern day Sikhs, they are completely unaware of this, that this Vidya did exist. Gyani Gyan Singh, the Vakya Guru Khalsa, in 1897 writes that even for us who know that Shastra Vidya exists, and even those who are practicing, even for us it's like a dream. And another 50 years, it'll be extinct. And all these skills, if we tell young men about how good the skills, sticks, sword, and Shastra Vidya was, they won't believe it. They said, nah, that's all made up. And this is happening. So Sahib Singh Bhangu passed the torch on to Baba Mangal Singh. Baba Mangal Singh passed it on to Baba Gyana Singh. But in the times of Baba Gyana Singh, Sikhism itself has changed. Okay, I'm a Nihang. And there's individuals back there dressed as Nihangs of the world, which I can logically assume they're Nihangs of the world, right? Kasi. But there's a distinction in Nihangs, in the old school. If you go to a text written by one Sampurna Singh Nahang, so Sampurna Singh lived in the early 1900s. There's a text by him called Suryavanshya Khalsa. And in that text, there's an image of him. In that image, he gives a title of Sampurna Singh Nahang, where he calls himself Sanatan Nahang. Sanatan Kshatriya Kali Nahang. So there's a thing, Sanatan means they follow the old traditions, the timeless traditions. The ones did not compromise when British Raj came in. So the ancient Kshatriyas in India, they have one thing common throughout. Whether you're a Maratha, whether you're a Rajput, whether you're a Khalsa, Sikh, there's one thing that what's called connects all Kshatriyas in India. And that is the worship of Devi, Bhavani, Chandi, the Maryadas of Jhatka. So in there, when the Sera comes, before the Sera, Naratte comes, the 9 days of worship Devi, which is linked in the past with Sri Ramchandraji, when he worshipped Devi, they will do Jhatke. They will take a goat, single blow, and Shatra itself, in British Raj, when it became banned, Shatra, instead of calling it, they couldn't call it Shatra Vidya. For a simple reason, it is Shatra Vidya is Shatra is a banned. You can't say, well, Shatra banned, but I do Shatra. You'll be arrested right away and deported. So what they did, don't forget, 1887, I think, if I'm correct now, I don't know if I'm correct now, 1871. Let me look my note. So what we have now, with the British coming in, we're looking at, yeah. So 1871, the Criminal Tribes Act comes in, which basically takes anybody who's hostile to the British Raj, Nihangs, Sannyasis, Buddhas, anybody who they see as a threat to them, they're declared as habitual criminals. In other words, as soon as they're born, they are guilty. And they constrict their movements throughout India. And we're talking about, by 1947, we have 13 million Indians declared as habitually criminal, belonging to 127 communities. Okay? There's no way of saying that you are a criminal, you are born criminal, simple as that. Then later on, 1878, we have the Indian Arms Act coming. And once the Act comes in, then the weapons, you just can't keep them. And nowadays, the Nihangs did not surrender the weapons. That is why we still keep our weapons. You guys surrendered your weapons, so you lost your weapons. Okay? But even the Sikhs were allowed to keep a small ceasefire, but the weapons are still there. So that's the history like. I want to give him a chance to talk now. Sorry.
Thank you so much. So, Guruji, now you've explained quite briefly how the whole process, the progress, and the extinction has happened. So I'm going to go to a very controversial question, and I'm sorry if I'm going to put you in the spot.
Don't worry, I like you in the spotlight.
So a Nihang of the name Sardar Nihang Singh had installed a murti of Lord Ram in the then standing Babri Masjid in 1858.
Yeah.
And he also started doing the Havan. This is a recorded fact which has been used in the Ram Janmabhoomi case as well. So, Guruji, the question is a bit large, but it is linked to this. You've mentioned that you consider yourself, you call yourself a Hindu Sikh.
I'll call myself Sanatan. I am a Hindu Sikh.
Yes. So,
Hindu in the sense culturally Hindu.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So, is Murti Puja allowed in Sikhism?
No. को बताने को पूछे बस को मित्रन को पूजनता है पूर्ण के उद्योग सभी जग से वहाँ को बेलना पाए मूर्ति पूजा is absolutely condemned, but at the same time we do not advocate destroying idols and so on either. Okay. So most Nihangs, let me point out this, there's a tradition. So in the Sikh world there are 4 sampradas, 4 traditions traditionally. There are the traditions of Baba Sri Chand. So Baba Sri Chand is the eldest son of Guru Nanak. He was a Adasi. And Adasi is a yogi type and so on. So it's all about spreading dharma. Okay? And I cannot spread dharma unless I bring you in and you can communicate and talk with me and so on. So let me give you very briefly how they force Sampradaya to do it. The Adasis are the earliest Sampradaya in Sikhism. The Adasis, some Sikh, they came a bit estranged in the time after Guru Nanak Dev. There's a bit of estrangement amongst the Adasis. There are certain members of Guru Nanak Dev's family felt that the Gaddi should go to Baba Sri Chand, like the successorship. But of course, it went to Baba Lehna Ji, the second Sikh Guru. But in the Nahant tradition, amongst the Adasis, we believe that there are 3 Gaddis that Guru Nanak gave. Okay? The Gaddi of the Sant, which is the most important one, the one that is the root to moksha and Vaheguru, is Baba Lehna Ji. So Baba Lehna Ji is the supreme Guru now. There's no question about that. But your Pravadi Gaddi, like family, went to Guru Nanak Dev School and Lakshmi Chand, second son. But the Birkat Gaddi of sadhus went to Baba Sri Chand. So Baba Sri Chand, Yasis, Bragis, enlightened them. Because in the times of Guru Nanak, many sadhus and yogis were basically hiding. The early sadhus, like Baba Gorakhnath. So Guru Gorakhnath was a great warrior as well. So when the first Muslims, the Turks came invading into India in the 10th century, it was actually the Gorakhnathis who took up Shastra Vidya and confronted them. They confronted them obviously physically, where need be, but also later on with dialogue as well. So there's a whole tradition of, some of the, like I said, you can't just name, you can't say that all Muslims are nutcases and fanatics and so on. Same way you can't say all Sikhs and Hindus are extremely nice people and they're not fanatical nutcases amongst them. It's not true like. So some of the believers, some of those who are, I can say, in Baghdad, there were very enlightened kings there who would invite these yogis to talk to them, converse with them and so on. And the yogis there had a nice, so some places they conflicted, other places they had nice dialogue going on. Now, in the times of Guru Nanak Dev, the great yogis like Gorakhnath, Gopi Chand and so on, the yogis have basically deteriorated many times. They went to what they call tantric stuff, black magic stuff. They're hiding out, away from the people. Either they're calling the people, even now there's fake yogis. You'll see them eating kachakuch and doing stupid things and claiming to be this yoga. You find modern day yogis who are now sexually molesting women in the West as well, or rather Bikram and all this lot. But then there are true yogis out there. Actual yogis, the Tapasvis and so on. So there's always true and there's always false. In times of Guru Nanak, the false were dominant. And Guru Nanak, especially in Sikh gurus, goes and confronts them. And his main complaint is that you guys are there to inspire people, to lead people through your example, not through teaching, right? In Hindu Dharma, there's 4 ashrams. There's a brahmacharya at the beginning, where you learn from your parents, then from your teachers, then you become grihasti. And once you become grihasti, then you get life experience as well. Then you take it called, then Brahmaspat. In other words, then you become a teacher yourself. But the last one is sannyas. And the sannyasi does not preach, does not teach, he leads by example. You look at a sannyasi, you say, this is the guy. He keeps dharma in his place by the way he lives his life. And these yogis in time of Guru Nanak were hiding out. So Guru Nanak confronted them. To them, Guru Nanak sent his eldest son, Baba Sri Chand, to go out, talk to his guys, and so on. Now wherever the Dasis went, they had a called Akar, Makar, Sakar. It's a philosophy. So they went to a village. Say I went to his village, and I realized everybody there worships Ram. I said, okay then, do they have a mandir there? And if you say, well, there's a mandir there, then the Dasi will go to the mandir. But if there's no mandir there, he will get an idol of Ram and put it there and make a mandir. This will attract Ramabhais. And then while it's there, his next thing is, okay, that's the Akar, the form, shape. And then, next one is called Akar, Sakar, reality of it. Who really is Ram? To know the reality of Ram, they will expound then the Ramayana. And of course, like you people here, I mean, some of you will know, listen to me and talk, others will nod off and sleep, and others will walk out halfway through the talk or something like that. They couldn't care less. But we'll see. So some people stuck around to hear the Ramayana, and then amongst those people who stuck around to hear the Ramayana, then Adasis then figured out who they can take further spiritually. So Ekram Dasar ka putra, Ekram yo somewhere Ramaya, Parmeshwara, who's not confined to a physical form and so on. And then at the end there's a Akar, this is Sakar reality. So Akar, so the idol is a Makai's deception. Right? It's Akar is a form, but this form is not the reality, is it called? But then Sakar, but what's the reality? The reality is that Ram is everywhere. And that's when they go, this is then, all this idol worship is Makar. It's false. But if your level is just up to idol worship, then do that. If your level is just coming to a mandir, and Matha takes and mom's going to do duty on you, if you don't go, that is your level then. So to bring people in, the Dasis use these ideas to bring them in. And even the Golden Temple, one time, when the British came in, and so Singh Sabians came in, up to about 1919, if I'm correct, there were idols all around the Pakarmana. And there's a beautiful text by one Atar Singh Bahiria. He explains that the Singh Sabians have not understood why they're there. Okay? So, the idols of Ram, because Sikhism, in its pure form, is Nirguna worship. It's not Sarguna. Okay? Nirguna Sarguna Prabha Apa hai. We acknowledge Sarguna, we give a nod to it, we give Satakar to it, we don't dismiss it, but we are Nirguna worshippers. And unlike some hardcore Nirguna sons who would disparage the Murti, we don't disparage them, we don't worship them, but we don't dismiss them. And they kept the Murti in there. They say Murti are like titanium, Jugnu, fireflies. In the dark by itself, the firefly is the sun itself. It radiates everywhere. But in the presence of the sun, just like you try to hold a candle to the sun, the Jugnu Hasti, the reality, vanishes. There's no more Jugnu left. The Guru Granth Sahib, if you look at the Guru Granth Sahib, it's the essence of the spiritual traditions of India. So in the Harvard tradition we say the primal text is the Vedas. And we give them Vedam and Namatum Susvana. We expect the Vedic day what to go to. We don't call the Vedas false, we don't call Semitic text false. In the Vedas there's the Gyan Kand, Vedantic philosophy and so on. We give that full respect. But unlike the Nirmala Sikhs who will study the Vedas and Shastras, we have no time, we're worried. We will
So what we do is, we say the essence of Vedas is the Bhagavad Gita. And Guru Gobind Singh translated the Bhagavad Gita in Bhakya mein, and you can see this in the Guru Granth Dasam Granth that Patna said. But even the Bhagavad Gita, it was so long ago, who would know the essence of Bhagavad Gita? The Bhagavats, the devotees of Bhagavad. So like Ramanand ji, Namdev ji, and so on, Kabir ji, the Bhakts. And the Bhagavats, like for instance, you can read a text like the Bhagavad Gita, but the whole appreciation of what it actually contains is not going to be the same as a true Bhakt, who worships it, who lives and believes it. So the Bhagavats have extracted the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. Sheikh Farid has attracted the essence of a concept like Ubudhat al-Wujud, which is Sufi Islam, which means all the essence of Allah. So in our tradition, we believe that there's mats, which are religions, and there's dharma. So Vedanta, that all is Brahma. Sab Gobind hai, Sab Gobind hai, Gobind avar na koi. That's basically Vedanta. And that's what Sikhism is what. Then you have Bhaktis, the Bhaktis who started in South India, who claim that everything, everyone is, we see our Ishtadev. If I go to Ram, I see Ram everywhere. For the Christian, everywhere. Same. And then Islam, Sufis, they have Vedanta al-Wujud, that all is essence of Allah. And semantically, there may be slight differences. If you say, okay, everything is essence of Allah, is that the same as everything is Brahman? You can argue about it, but in essence, it's very close to each other. So in the Guru Granth Sahib, you have devotees of Ram, Ramanand and so on, or Vairagis and so on. You have what you call Vaishnavas in there, you have what you call Sufis in there, you have everybody, true Bhakts. And those Bhakts have taken the essence, and that essence is in Guru Granth Sahib. And that's when Guru Nanak went to the sadhus, the yogis, in Siddha Ghosh, they presented a pyala, like a goblet of milk, and said, look, there's enough religion here, we don't need any more. But Guru Nanak took a jasmine flower, placed it on top, saying that this contains the essence. So Guru Granth Sahib contains the essence of spirituality, as far as we're concerned. And as a consequence, that is such a bright sun that in his presence, nothing else shines. So going back to your question, because I answer my questions like an Indian man. I go everywhere, then I come back. So, in Shaturday, we are Ramapaks. Okay, we say that, Ram, Ram. But we don't just say Ram, Ram. Ram, Ram, sabko kahe ke ho Ram na ho. Just by saying Ram, Ram, you're not going to become a Pak to someone. Ram, Karm Khand ki bani jo, tete hor na koi jo. So in warriors, like Karm Khand, the spirit of action, Karm Khand bani is jor hai, force. Tete hor na koi ho. Tete Jodh Mahapul, jite Jodh Mahapul Sroot mein Ram raha parpur. So for a great warrior, must have Ram in our head. Ram to us means peace, contentment. Okay? So when I do Shastra Vidya, I mean, I'm teaching basically Jhatkari Vidya. In my head, every day, I have to kill 1,000 people, just doing techniques. I don't kill anybody. In my head, I go through 1,000 techniques. And then if you see me do my techniques, you'll see I do this. But if you're constantly contemplating killing, and so on, in my dreams, I'm killing millions. Sleep is always generally the part going on in my head. I'm always doing, because it's Jhatkari Vidya. That can consume you. So they say, Jap Gobind Gopal Ram Nam Sivan Fe Na Khaye Mahakal. So we contemplate Ram, stay at peace. Tanjiyo Deko Jag mein, Mukh mein har chit mein yudh bachare, says Guru Gobind Singh. So those are great beings in the world, says Guru Gobind Singh, who in their mouths contemplate Hari, Hari yo Sathawe. But in their chit, in their heart and mind, you contemplate war. Mainly the war is two types. There's internal war, inside, against your vices, your Cholosa, Gyan Karikale, Manso Luchi. So we're taking the sword of knowledge and we fight the battle in between, in ourselves, right, to suppress the vices. But then there's also external war. Okay? Even though the teachings in Sabdo Granth, it tells you, Prat Ut Karkashinana, Pad Pankaj Mo Manlina, Jatha Shak Dan Pukiko Kahe, Nimk Karangapina, Krodh Nawad Dayaman Lavo. So forsake anger, love compassion. Ikman Hoye Pado Narayan, Hinsa Durmat Tyago Kima Dharma Anragu. So Hinsa Durmat, forsake violence, forsake evil thinking, love the dharma of forgiveness. So we'll forgive everybody. We'll forgive, yeah, we can get violence, but There's a line if you cross it. If you try to call this Gurkha Sikh Gomukh Rahe, says the old Vietnamese in the Khada. That the Sikh means like, now it sounds horrible in English, cow face. It means staying humble. Gurkha Sikh matlab nirmata rahe. Agar koi dost khedda hai, sherda hai, pichha nahi chhadda. If someone evil person just wanted to be, and there's no way pichha khedda nahi chhadda kida. Ek apne aap par dharma par aabru par bane hai. It's a question of defending yourself, your dharma, your honor, your nation, whatever. जब सब हिले रहे चुके हैं और उनको तैयार करें. And when there's all the means, there's no other way left now. I can't talk to him, I can't negotiate with him, whatever. Then, as a last resort, you take up weapons. Okay? और उनको तैयार करें. फिर यहाँ मुँह मुँह हो जाए, so then you know it's either me or him. फिर जैसे सिंह क्लाचमा काम करता है, आखिरी फुर्ती ने टिल नहीं करना. So just like a tiger pounces, then not even for a single blink, then my sword comes out. What they did was, in Babur Masjid, when they place, so the Nahangs are no idol worshippers. It's simple as that. Okay? But they do acknowledge that the rest of the Hindu world is attracting so on. So Babur, in Bani, is spoken of as extremely cruel. Okay, when he attacked Ahmedabad and so on, his soldiers raped and plundered and murdered and so on. But there's also a tradition in the Sikh tradition, because it's called, because the governor of that time of Punjab, who actually brought in Babur, was a Marid of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Okay, he's actually Sahib Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Guru Nanak met, according to Sikh tradition, as Babur. Guru Nanak was captured in Ahmedabad, and then through his innate holiness, so in the Janmsakhi they describe a miracle. The chakis in front of him move by itself, the pandal, the stuff on his head is floating. But in reality, he's innate spiritualism, attractive. Even now, if you go to Pakistan, many places, there are many Muslims who make clear that Guru Nanak is a peer. So Guru Nanak appealed to everybody. And even on his death, there's a dispute as to who is a Hindu, Muslim, and so on. So Guru Nanak was extremely popular by everybody, and loved by everybody. And when Guru Nanak met Babur, Babur offered him bhang, they said, at that meeting. Then Guru Nanak spoke to Babur and said, if you want to rule in India, then you must promise that you will not persecute the Hindus and so on. This is a Shakti event. But the day your descendants start persecuting the Hindus, then we who gave you, like I gave the Bhat, then my descendants, like that, they will then take the Raj off you. So when Guru Nanak Dev Ji actually go take Bahadur, he broke that promise and so on to Guru Nanak. So Guru Nanak, even Sikh Gurus, they are willing to negotiate a peace as well. Not just bye-bye. Even Guru Gobind Singh, after the death of Aurangzeb, Guru Gobind Singh is on his way to meet Guru Aurangzeb to see if they can negotiate something. Then Guru Nanak helped Bahadur Shah. But when Bahadur Shah was not willing to go against Wazir Khan in Sirhind, then he deputized Banda Baragi, Banda is actually a khatab, a title. Madhu Das declared him Banda, the commander of his army, is not the head of the Khalsa. The head of the Khalsa was Baba Banod Singh, okay, who was the first Jethar of Burda and the first Khalsa Jethar after the Gurus. And then, if we can negotiate peace, fine, we do that. But there is a last result, like Guru Singh, Jo Kajam Hilde Dargash Hal Astam Bardan Simshire Astam. When there's no other way out, you can't negotiate, can't make peace, then die is peace. Okay, then you take Shakro. So what we have now is, when the Nahangs were there, Baba Mahir, and there's no question about it, Nahangs do havans. We even do them now. Even I do havans. The Nahangs in Punjab, they do it in secret because modern day Sikhs also tappan up in there. But otherwise, Nahangs do havans. And we read Chandi Var, and so on. There's reference to havans in ancient texts. Even Ahmad Shah Abdali's writers, when they came to Punjab, they said the Sikhs are fire worshippers. There's a great havan done in, I think it is in 1667, when Ahmad Shah Abdali was driven from Punjab. The Khas had these great havans. They did Chettange, Chatke, Bakre, oxys were decapitated, offered to Devi, etc. and so on. It's a method of psychologically preparing yourself for battle. Because Nahang is to go down there now, or even Nahang Das. They will take a bakra on the Sera day, Chitanga, take the blood, anoint their foreheads, the kids' foreheads, the weapons, the themselves. It's a warrior thing. It happened like Al-Tak, 942, happens in there right to this day. Many Sikhs object to it, but Nahangs don't care. We don't care. It's our tradition. Shut me away. So the thing is, When they went to Baba Masjid, they knew there was a dispute going on from a long time. In Magadhi, when I was learning, he told me after a training, he said, go to what's called Naina Devi, go to the Pashupati Mandir, go to the Vishwanath Mandir, Mahakal Mandir there, and of course all these places. And if I can, go to, even this is like in 80, this is when I finished my training 94. Magadhi said, go to Ajudhya to pay homage at the place of Ram and so on. So the Nahangs for a long time have acknowledged this, that this is the place of Ram. It's not new. Like the guy who was advising these people who were fighting, there was actually Rajendra Singh Narala, who was in Nirmala. And he was a very bitter person. The SGPC chopped his arm once. They took him to the offices and then they chopped his arm off. And he wrote a lot of books. He wrote a book called Why Hum Hindu Hai and so on. But Nahangs don't agree with that 100%. Sikhs are Hindus in a particular cultural sense, but not Hindus in another cultural sense. We have that in between line, like fine line. So Babur Masjid, when they went there, they did havans. That's Nahang tradition. Put the murti there, that's just to rally the locals. That's the only reason they do murti there. Otherwise, there's no tradition of murti worship in Nahangs. Adasis, they keep murtiya. Nirmalas, they keep samadhiya and murtiya of their called sadhus and so on. And in there, again, they may have murtis in the mandir just to attract usually pictures. And then there are Sevapanthis, they are more Sufi inclined, they don't have murtiya. But there's a tradition that Guru Gobind Singh had a murti of Durga at Jandi, and this murti was found to about 1920s at Nandir. I actually got a painting of it, which the original painting was lost in Germany, but there's a lithograph of the painting published in a book in the Master's presence. So it's a funny relationship with murti and like. So one hand we say Bhutan ko pujit hai bas, only like animals, fools, but at the same time, in Bhatyan Sevdas, there's a fine example of Guru Gobind Singh answering the Aurangzeb. He reprimands Aurangzeb that you are destroying the idols of Hindus, but by destroying one, you're creating millions. There's the ones who worship the idol, now they're going home, some are making of atta, some making of moon, and so on. So it's by destroying that, you're creating millions. The truest idol, says in Bhatyan Sevdas, and Bhatyan Sevdas written by what's called Sevdas, who was in the presence of Guru Gobind Singh Darbar, is ego. Ego is the true idol. Even Guru Granth Sahib, if you're just going there and matha tekana, and not studying it, not listening to what he says, not listening to the hukum, then that is idol worship. So true worship is ego. So Babri Masjid, so the answer is a bit more complicated than you expect.
Let's come to yoga.
Yeah.
So I've seen the art and I've seen how each and every practitioner has a precise control over his own limbs.
Yeah.
So that of course shows that there is a requirement of practicing it each day with a proper parampara.
Okay.
So Guruji, do you think that a practitioner who also does yoga and also practices this art can benefit more? And why are certain sections of the Sikh community against yoga? Why there are groups like the 3HO, which is a Sikh organization, it's a worldwide group just like ISKCON. They support yoga. And what are your views?
Okay, so yoga. Yoga is the last of the classical disciplines. It's not the first. Okay, the hunters came first, shikaris. Because paid puja comes first. You don't get your roti, nothing happens. Okay, the roti comes first. Hunters came first. And if you look at yogis, old Indian yogis, like Adideva, Shiva, meditating, he's always sitting on animal skins, vrikshalas and so on. He's wrapped in animal skins. Now, he didn't go shopping and get those animal skins. These animal skins were taken off animals. You can't take them off dead carcasses which are rotting either. If you ever have shot deer and then skinned them, that's when you get these skins. You can't take them from a dead carcass that's been lying there rotting away. You'll smell, it's full of, it's disgusting. So these yogis at one time hunted. Okay. Now, what happens is you got the hunters that came first, the yogis, and once you start eating well, you start enjoying yourself, then the yogis come. And then you start having a bit of celebration, dancers come. So like dance, for instance. You can find dance in the animal kingdom. Animals dance. They have ritual dance, for mating dance, and so on. So they exist before the spoken language as well. So yogis, bogis, the nat, they come first and so on. But when the shikaris began hunting human beings, they became shatataris. They became warriors. So for the hunters, then you end up with the warriors. The warriors, they win, they celebrate, they do pork, they make babies, all that. Yoga is the last thing to develop, because spirituality. Majority of people think the spiritual last thing. That's the last thing. First is eating, second is survival, and then a bit of fun. Okay? That's how it works. So yogis are last. So even your meditation comes from the fact hunters sitting at watering holes, waiting for animals, quietly, silently, so they can shoot them. It's like fishermen now, sit there with a rod like this. Even now, hunters, they will quietly move and they hold their position. So yoga comes from there. Now, in Satyavidya, let's look at yoga, reference to yoga in Sikhism. So, yoga is different types. There's the Hatha yoga, which is physical yoga, or asanas and so on. But there's Bhakti yoga, Nam Jap, similar. That is the highest yoga in the body, Nam Jap. Okay? So every morning, you get up before sunrise, Prat, Karashanana. You get up in the morning, go to your bathroom, you wash yourself, clean yourself. You sit yourself down before the sun comes up. And then you focus your mind, body and spirit, and you do jap of mantras. Now the highest jap, mantra jap in Sikhi is Vaheguru. And in traditional Indian thinking, in Sikh thinking, Vaheguru was Bhagavad states, and Sabudhan, and Pan Prakash is composite of 4 letters of the names of Vishnu. Ram, Hari, Govind, Gopal, etc. so on. In the traditional Akamtu, we have actually 6 mantras. We have Kala, Kala, Sarvaka, Sarvaka, then Mahaka, but the highest is still Vaheguru. And the mantras that we Indians tend to use are either linked to the Shiva tradition, the Hari, Govind, Gopal, all are Shiva linked. Kala, Kala, Sarvaka, Sarvaka, Mahaka, these are over Shiva tradition, they're linked that way.
Yeah.
And you take it, and whatever your Ishdev is, you take that particular mantra. And then you focus your mind and your body and spirit in a particular way. We use, in my tradition, I use 6 mantras, but then the highest mantra is Vaheguru, so we use that. And then we still the body and the mind. And just like you young men will go to gyms, and when you go to gyms, you train, you pump your body with this. We have like in Punjabi, it says Bhakti Mein Shakti. There's ways of developing power from the Kumbh. So even texts like Shiva Samhita and so on, they talk about the highest powers in the Kumbh. So I'm not here to demonstrate today. I demonstrated before. There's an app coming out sort of that. But you can develop horrendous power to the point that if you get someone, actually you want to do it. Come here. So what I want you to do is, where should we go? We go, where's the cameraman? Here it is. I'm going to put my arm down like this, and I want you to basically grab my arm like this and just hold me down and don't let me lift my arm with your whole body weight.
Sure.
I picked you because, not you're handsome, I'm just saying you look strong. Okay, so all your weight, all your might, like and so on. Which part of India you come from? You're a Delhi guy?
No, I'm from Western UP.
I understood. If I try to lift this now with my arm like this, is that like, if I do my arm, he can't lift, he can stop it. But watch, if I relax, this is Kumbh now. I relax, Kumbh, and I'll take it from my shoulder. Now put your weight onto it, quick, hold on to it, ready? Relax, now I'll come up. What's happening?
Oh, you're unbeatable.
Yeah. So there's a method of generating power through the Kumbhs, which our ancestors